and welcome to a video that isn't about stony fonts. Today we're covering one of the newest teams in the Spartan. Today we're covering Buckingham Town FC, founded in 2023. But before we get into that, and their reasons behind their recency, I'd really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button down below. We're trying to hit 250 subscribers before the start of the actual season. But that said, let's talk about the history of the club. Buckingham Athletic FC, founded in 1933 as Buckingham Juniors, played in the Brackley and District League and secured a ground at Tim Meadow, later named Stratford Fields, which is where they currently play today. In 1936, they renamed it to Stratford Meadows. In 1939, they changed to Buckingham Athletic FC and had early success in 1960-61 season, lifting North Bucks League Shield and moving to Hellenic League Division 1 in 1965. That is the equivalent of Step 6 now, I believe. They won the Bucks Junior Cup in 1969-70, but were relegated in 1972. In 1983-84, they won the North Bucks Premier Division Shield and went unbeaten next season. They moved to Spartan South Middle League in 1985 and quickly won Division 1, repeating the title in 1990-91 after meeting ground grading requirements, because that was still a thing back then, surprisingly. They continued to win titles in the Bucks and Bucks Intermediate and Junior Cups, and further charity cups that are thrown in the Spartan. Their best FA Vase performance came in 1998-99, reaching a second round. Buckingham United FC, 1995-2023, was formed in 1995 and joined the South Midlands League Division 1. They were reformed in 2011, focusing more on grassroots, and they won the North Bucks Division 1 Cup in 2017-18 and then re-entered the Spartan South Midlands Division 2, which is Step 7, the same league as Stony. They rejoined in 2019. Prior to merging, the 2022-23 season saw them finish 16th in Spartan South Midlands League Division 2. So there was one team in Division 1 and one team in Division 2. In June 2023, both clubs formally merged to establish Buckingham Football Club, carrying forward athletic position in the Spartan South Midlands League Division 1 and still playing at Stratford Fields. The merger aimed to create a more sustainable, community-driven non-league club, combining strengths like more volunteers, more fans, better facilities, better youth pathway, and they had obviously ambitions like all non-league clubs of climbing the football pyramid as quick as possible. But I think the merger was mainly to having two clubs in a small area creates a big conflict and a conflicting problem of one club's always going to get more than the other. The historic club will normally get more, but putting them together you get the history and the two pathways, the two sets of volunteers, the two sets of fans come together. Obviously some people probably didn't like it and went on to support other teams, but I think overall it's positive for Buckingham. The club currently plays at Stratford Fields, which is about 15 minutes away from Stony Stratford, so a reasonable journey for most teams in Milton Keynes, which makes up most of the Spartan, like also going out past Milton Keynes towards like Winslow. It has a capacity of 1,500 with about 100 seats in the ground, which is a luxury in a Step 6. It is a pretty simple ground, but one of the nice grounds for the simple reason that it does have seats, which a lot of clubs surprisingly don't have. It has a tiny little clubhouse as you enter through the car park, then a small path down to the floodlit ground. Again, floodlights, big bonus at this level, allowing the Tuesday night 7:45 kickoffs. And it's definitely one of the nicest grounds in Buckinghamshire. I can only think of 2 or 3 that would be better non-league grounds, and that's Manor Fields and Wilham Road. But yeah, now that's out the way, let's talk about the last 2 seasons, and we're going to start in 2023-24. The club's first season as Buckingham FC. They took the place of Buckingham Athletic in the Spartan South Midlands League Division 1, which is Step 6 in the non-league pyramid. The club needed to stabilise, and they did that absolutely perfectly, finishing 13th in a 20-team league, so around mid-table. They started off life with a 2-1 win at home to Cranfield United, with 2 future MK Irish players making the team. Midfielder Timothy Longo, who got a red card coming off the bench in that game, and shot stopper Jamie Adam, who just played in their friendly against AFC Welling. They won 9 more games after this, winning 10 in total, excluding cup wins. They took part in the FA Vase this season, which is a luxury that Step 7 is afforded, and I think Step 7 should have, but it's a national competition, but they were drawn against a relatively local side, Step 5 Aylesbury Vale Dynamos, who played in the Premier Division of the Spartan. They were handed a 4-1 battering at home though, so was it really worth it? They also took part in the Gladwish Challenge Trophy, which is like the Carabao Cup of the Spartan. They were initially drawn at home to fellow Division 1 side Letchworth Garden City Eagles and were comfortable in their victory, succeeding with a 3-0 scoreline at Stratford Fields. And yet another red card, shock horror. In the second round, they played just over 2 months later. They lost 4-1 to Hertfordshire-based side and another Premier Division side, Tring Athletic. In the Division 1 Cup, they lost 3-2 at Belclose to one of the strongest ever Leighton Town development sides. So also in Division 1, you have to take into account that there are Step 4 sides that have their development sides in Step 6, Stotfold, Leighton, and there's another one I really cannot remember. But they dropped down into their, instead of being in like local Step 7 leagues, it's just a bit more competitive. I see why they do it. There is another one, I'm going to find it. Royston. I knew there was another one. Stotfold, Royston, Leighton. Unbelievable, I forgot that. Last season was their second season as a club, and it was a season of consolidation for the Bucks as they did that in very strong fashion, climbing up to 11th in the table, finding themselves with just nearly as many wins as they had losses with 15 and 16 respectively. And also for the second season in a row, they won their opening game at home, this time beating Letchworth Garden City Eagles with a crowd of 102. 30 stronger than last season, so you also see the attendance increase that's coming just from being around more. They took part in FA Advance again this season but lost by the same margin, this time to Brookhouse of the Combined Counties League, who gave the Buckinghamshire side a hiding, putting 3 past Jamie Adam between the sticks. Last season, the Gladwish Challenge Trophy took place a few weeks into the season, just 3 weeks in instead of the previous 2 months in, as the Buckingham FC faced off at home to Division 2 side Tring Corinthians, before eventually losing to Premier Division side Ardsley Town at home 3-0, with Curtis Aliene scoring a 5-minute brace. In Division 1 Cup, the Bucks played away to Long Buckby AFC in the first round, and after coasting past them, they faced off against playoff contender Wellingborough Whitworths, but did go on to get hammered 4-1 at the Victoria Mill ground as Ata Gaedu stuck through past Jamie Adam. I need to stop including these difficult names to pronounce. But yeah, looking to the future, they have taken significant groundwork over the off-season, and I've seen on their Twitter and other socials, to compete at the better grounds in the league, but also potentially climb up to Step 5 in the future. And they've given me the same kind of impression as Brentford, slowly climbing up the league, starting relatively lower mid-table and slowly progressing until they're going to hit the playoffs eventually. But I don't think that's going to happen this coming season. I think this Division 1 and Premier Division are just going to be so strong this season. But I say anywhere between 11th and 8th would suit the Bucks really well. This is probably one of the strongest times in the Spartan. Division 1 and Premier Division, even Division 2, you're looking quite strong. Everyone's looking relatively equal as well. There's no necessarily weak team. So they've got to improve. But I can definitely see them sitting maybe around 9th. I think 9th would look good for them. But yeah, on that note, I appreciate you watching this video, and make sure to check out my series on Stony Stratford Town, which is linked below. But yeah, like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.